Hey guys, I am back again with new set of knowledge and skills for you. So in the last video we talk about the basics of budgeting. And in this video we will go heads with rest of the part of budgeting concepts. Let's talk about budget cycle here. Let's start with creating a master budget. 1. Create master budget and sub-budget of the company. So master budget includes operation plan and financial plan. And these two categories further divided into various plans and budgets. So this we will discuss in further videos of this lecture. Now the next will be get manager buy-in. This means the suggestion of managers of the company will be included while preparing the budget of the company. Now next comes to analyze the current performance and expected performance. So after the budgets are prepared and implemented we will analyze them in detail while comparing the expected and actual budgets of the company. Next step is to examine variation. So after analyzing the variance or difference we will examine the each and every variation of the company. Now after examine variations let's take corrective action. So after we have analyzed and examined the variance we will take corrective measure or actions in order to compete with the problem. Obtain feedback and revise plan. So after taking corrective actions, we will take feedback from the users if our budget now these can the employees of the company etc. So after this whole cycle goes on time after time or year after year. For 20 seconds and analyze this diagram carefully. Now let's talk about the various reasons for which budgets are formed in the company. Let's start with first reason. Planning. So planning helps in the framework formation of budgeting. With the help of planning we can examine the future. And with the proper planning the company can also set some expectation under the income, expenses, personal needs or future growth in the budgets. Planning can also help in the generation of new ideas. So this can also be in cost cutting of expenses or expansion of production etc. So this will help in the effective and efficient budget formation. Or it may also help in achieving the goals that has already been set by the company. So what do you think can happen if planning was not included in budgeting? So then the managers would be working on their individual decision and this will lead to lack of coordination and there can be also conflict rising situation in the company and the manager will work in a reactive manner rather than proactive manner. Now let's talk about communication and coordination. Communication and coordination. Budgeting also promotes communication and coordination within the organization. As many of the departments such as production, sales, marketing etc. uses the budget of the company to perform the operation. So in this manner they all work together in order to achieve the objectives of the organization. And in order to evaluate their budgets on time-to-time basis they all work together. Okay, now next we will talk about monitoring. Now when the budget are prepared and implemented then these have also to be evaluated on a timely manner. So for this the monitoring process is involved. The budget sets standards, or performance indicators, by which managers can monitor the organization's progress in meeting its goals. By comparing the actual results for a time period to the budgeted results for that period, managers can see whether the organization is on track to achieving its goals. So the people involved in monitoring department can be the member of budgeting committee, or senior manager or senior designatory of the company. And it all depends upon the budgeting committee and top-level management of the organization. Now next we will talk about evaluation. Budgets also serve as a way to evaluate employees. Once the budget is set and managers have been advised of their responsibilities, so they can be held responsible for their portion of the budget. Manager performance can be evaluated by comparing actual results to the budget for a given period. Manager performance is based on two cost categories. These are controllable cost and uncontrollable cost. Well-reputed company will always monitor the performance of their managers from controllable cost point of view. Uncontrollable cost performance management will always act as unfair means of evaluation because under this the managers evaluated on the cost which is not controllable. Now let's talk about kind-of relationship between strategic plans and budgeting of the company holds. So when we talk about strategic plans and budgets of the company then. Firstly, strategic plans are prepared and then the budgets are prepared. Strategic plans of the company are prepared on the basis of vision and mission statement. So in order to this, if the company wants to achieve the objectives of the organizations, then they also need to prepare effective and efficient strategic plans. When the strategic plans have been prepared effectively, then budgets acts as guiding directives among the organization and the strategic plans of the organization. Budgets should be prepared accurately if the company wants to achieve their goals and objectives for the year. Now next we will like to discuss about the controllable and non-controllable cost. These are the two categories of cost in which the cost is divided. Let's talk about controllable cost first. These are also known as discretionary cost. So controllable cost can be recognized as when the manager can control or alter the level of charge on certain activity within a short period of time. Example can be variable cost and other costs, so these can be controlled by manager within a short period of time. Because the manager can cut labor's cost or use cheaper materials to manufacture a product. Now let's discuss about non-controllable cost, also known as committed cost or fixed cost, that cannot be controlled by the manager, such as administrative cost or fixed rent of land, building, etc. Note: performance of the manager is also evaluated on controllable and non-controllable cost. Now let's talk about characteristics of a successful budget process. We will start with 1. Budget period. It is basically the time period of budget under which the budget will remain active. These are further of two types. Short-term budget, basically prepared under 1-year time period. Example of this can be a master budget. So master budget also can be further broken down into weekly, monthly or quarterly budgets, in order to get a big and clear picture to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Long-term budget, basically prepared for 3, 5 or 10 years budget. These can also be known as strategic objectives of the company. Note: usage and time period of budget depends upon company-to-company basis. After period comes 2. Budget process. Authoritative budget, or also known as top-bottom budget. Here the information flows from top to bottom in the organization. The top management prepares the budget and levy on the middle and lower management. Participative budget, or also known as bottom-to-up budget. Here the middle and lower level management participate in the budget formation, and the senior management will review it and gives a green signal to implement those budget into the whole organization. Participative budgets are preferred by big corporate houses. Let's talk about budget participants. And let's understand who all are people involved in forming the budget of the company. So the topmost budget participants are 1. Board of Directors. They are not directly involved in the budget formation, but when the budget is formed and then they finally it is reviewed by the top management, then it goes up to the Board of Directors. And they have a look on them, and if they find something useful to add, then they also can provide some suggestions. And if they found the budget is not attainable, then the budget goes back for revision. Note: Board of Directors usually provides members of budgeting committee. Okay, now next are the top management people. Top management is ultimately responsible for budget formation. And top management ultimately have all rights and duties on the budget preparation, though the budget committee is also present. But top management is majorly involved of finding budgetary slack during budget formation. Budgetary slack occurs when the budgeted performance is more than the actual performance. This means when the budgets are overestimated than the cost that is actually incurred. Now next is budget committee. Now this is the core level committee that actual reviews and passes the budget. Budget committee is composed of senior management and CEO. These committees usually formed in the big corporate organization. Following are the functions of budget committee. 1. Directs the budget preparation. 2. Approves budgets. 3. Rules on disagreements. 4. Monitors the budget. 5. Approves revision. Now after the budget committee has set up, then we talk about middle and lower management. So these are the key people who performs the work in the budget formation. The managers follows the guidelines that is directed by the budgeting committee. Next participants will be budget coordinator. Usually in the large organization these coordinator are set up to coordinate the work of all the department or strategic business unit to work together. And coordinator also solve any kind of discrepancy that rises while forming the budget. Now the last budget participants are the process experts. These are usually the lower level employees of the company. And they are also known as the non-managerial employees of the company. So the experience experts from this group are asked to join the budget committee in order to form the budget highly accurate, effective and efficient. So in this way lower level employees will also be motivated to be part of the budget and they will also try to work as per the budget expectations. Alright friends, that's it for second video. Now next we will talk in third video about the remaining connective budget concepts. Till then, bye. We will meet in next video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. And please leave a comment on the video.